Hi, my name is Marcy. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I am a crafter who lives in northern Wisconsin. I also use this channel to make videos of my garden and little videos for my blog. I blog over at amniconstudio.blogspot.com. Today is a Flosstube video. So if you are into that sort of thing, stick around. Okay, life stuff. I was on vacation last week with my husband. It went about as well as could be expected with all the rain and the weather, but we did have a lot of time out on the lake, which is something that both of us wanted to do. He outfished me almost every time, which was... Usually I'd say it's about 50-50, but this time he was the clear winner of the week. I wanted to say thank you to all those who sent prayers and positive thoughts my way regarding the procedure I mentioned in my last Flosstube video. I guess you could say everything went according to plan. Results were what they should be. So I guess that's all to say about that one. I kind of debated on whether to say what it was or not. I am just going to tell you that it was a CMG, and if you are curious, you can look it up. I'm not, unless it really impacts the videos that I make, I'm not going to try to mention what's going on with me, really, if I can help it. So... thank you to all of you who had kind thoughts my way. I have show notes because I seem to do better with show notes and going through the list rather than trying to skip around. I do have a few works in progress. I have some knitting stuff to share, and I've got 2 FFOs, which I'm pretty excited to share about. So I will pause this and set up for the first works in progress. All right, first works in progress is the One Stitch at a Time. That is with the Stitch Along for the Across the Pond Stitch and Chat group on Facebook. I remember to write it down. Yay! The designer is Lindy Stitches. I purchased the chart at 123stitch.com. I swear, if it's not one thing, it's another. I'll show you the project card too. Okay, the fabric I'm using is 28 count Charles Craft linen DMC tea-dyed colorway. I am doing the DMC conversion, except for the color that is for the house. I changed it from blue to red because I live in a red house. Here's the colors. This is the red that I'm using for my house. Here is the chart. And I remembered a board this time. I'm very excited. I am almost prepared, like a real Flosstuber. Here we are. This is where I'm at. I am halfway done, officially. I think I did that, this past weekend. I might have finished the house. My goal was to have the house completed by the end of May, which didn't happen, but that's okay. Yeah, so I decided to work on the left side first because it fit perfectly in the Q-snap. I even finished the bird. And I think the last time I chatted, well, the last 2 times, I mentioned how I unintentionally customized the stitches on the house. I lost a row, gained a row. I don't know what happened, but this is my first time working with a linen like this, and I was hoping that it would be a little easier to work with. That I wouldn't lose track of how big the stitches were and whatnot. And I did okay for the most part, but the house kind of kicked my butt. So now I just gotta make sure that the house windows line up on the second half here. But I stitched it and got it all complete and then promptly put it away because I didn't want to do anything with it until I shared it on the video. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. From a distance, you can't tell that there's extra stitches. Yep, so that's this one. One stitch at a time. The next thing that I have in progress is a project by Lindy Stitches. It is the black bellied whistling ducks. That was part of her Bird Crush Club in 2023. I thought I had everything within easy reach and I didn't. And I also meant to take this out of the hoop. Hold please. Okay, I'm back and need to fix my sweater. All right, black-bellied whistling ducks was part of the Bird Crush Club by Lindy Stitches. I started on May 3rd. Excuse me. I purchased the chart directly from Lindy Stitches. The fabric is Hobby Lobby 14 count in the mist colorway, and I used DMC colors except for the fancy floss that was provided, which is Threadworks Rustic Red. This also, I made a little key charm, fob charm of one of the stickers of the birds. I add that and floss. Why do I know? I can't remember what it's called, but it's for my floss ring bling. I think I forgot about what it was called last time too. But yeah, it was another sticker, and I made these for all of the charts that I have except for the Blue Jay because I didn't get any Blue Jay stickers because I ordered that one after the fact. I was late to the club. I can't remember if I showed this one the last video. I must have, but I'll have a picture up of what it looked like before. Yeah, this is what it looks like now. Oh. I started out so well, and now I feel like I'm quickly falling apart. This is what the chart looks like. This is one of the pictures. This is where I am so far. I am... Let's see, I just worked on this part last night. Unintentional customizations on the legs. I still don't know what I did to customize them, because when I look at the chart and compare the stitches, I don't see it, but I did something, but it looks good, except for the ring of the thing. But yeah, I'm enjoying the stitch. I'm a little concerned about getting to this part right here. So I'm working from the paper chart on this one, and there's words there, and I'm going to have to really focus on making sure I don't omit something. I was thinking that if I was a really good girl and I really pushed myself, I could get this done by the end of Sunday, but I I don't know that I want to push myself like that, because it is, especially with that, I'm thinking that I'll go in and do the words first, and then come back in and do the outline and then fill in. And that, I probably don't have enough time to do that this week. We'll see. For the next thing I'm going to share, I wanted to bring a special guest. This is my little Pfeffer bun. He is officially 7 years old. He's a mini Rex. And he's such a good bun, aren't you? You're a good baby. All right, in case you can't tell what the next thing's going to be that I'm sharing, it is an FFO of my Bedelia bun. I did this as a stitch along with Kenzie over at Mud Puppy Stitchery. Here's my chart, or project card, which I see now I didn't put a finish on, but I'll have to put the date in down here on when I finished it. I started on March 1st, and I just realized I didn't bring my book of days out with. He's just such a good bun. So, last night I decided to grab the bull by its horn, so to speak, and FFO my Bedelia bun, and I decided to turn it into a pillow. It's my first time working with pom-pom ribbon trim. Yeah. And here it is. And I thought it'd be good to have him in here so you guys could see the two together. And I think I did a pretty good job matching the gray. And then here's the back. You might recognize the fabric. It's the same fabric I used for one of my bags, my most recent bag that I made. I decided it was absolutely appropriate and perfect for that chart, or for making that pillow. Can you say hi, Pfeffer? I think he's camera shy. All right, just to make sure that this gets proper airtime, I wanted to show this again. It's my first time using the pom-pom trim. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I don't know how many videos I watched to work up the courage to do this. And I wanted to do the line here close to the trim. I would have liked it to have been tighter, but I'm not gonna be too unhappy since this was my first time. And then I hand stitched it shut. I tried to put plenty of the stuffing inside, and I succeeded for the most part. So yeah, Bedelia bun. I just need to find a spot to put it now. I remember Bernadette Stitches, or Burn Stitches, one time saying something about how she holds her projects up for a long time and hopes that, I think that when you load the video up to YouTube, that it will hone in on that and give you a good option for a thumbnail. So I try to do that, which I don't know if it is really successful on my part, because the ones I have are usually kind of goofy. YouTube always knows how to find the most unflattering images to suggest for thumbnails, and I never remember to do thumbnails until after I'm loading the video up. So yeah. My next FFO is a more recent finish. Oh, look familiar? It is the Biscornus, the Loves, Hugs, and Kisses Biscornus, which I see on this project card. I didn't put the finished on either. It's a chart I got out of just Cross Stitch February 2023. The chart is by Arlene Cohen, WorksByABC. Fabric is Stash 14 count Aida white. The floss I used was DMC 816 Garnet instead of the called for DMC Moulin Etoile 816. And I fully finished it June 14th, 15th. This is the charts, or the project. And I'll start with the smallest, largest. This is the smallest one. Hugs. Oh, well, yeah, here's the back. I used just white buttons for the bottoms, and I used, I don't remember what size bead it calls for, but I just used a bead on the top. Here is the middle size one, Hugs, the back. And the biggest one, which I did last, and by that time I think I figured out how to do the Biscornu shaping. So this one is my best one. This is what the top looks like. The back, and the sides. I have floss and beads picked out for my next Biscornu too, but I think it's going to be a while before I make another one. It was fun to make, but I really shouldn't have made a trio to be my first one, because I kind of burned out on it, and then I think I waited a couple of weeks before I attempted to stitch it all together. Now I'm not planning on giving these as a gift to anybody, so it doesn't matter to me that the things in the top two are a little bit off in the Biscornu shape. If you look, well, maybe not too close, you can tell where it went kind of wonky, but being that it's my first Biscornus, I'm pretty proud of them. I just will be a while before I make any more. So that's done. That's done, and I can put that magazine away. Okay, that is that for my cross stitch. I've got two knitting projects, which, while they're not terribly exciting, I made what I feel is a decent amount of progress on them. The first ones were the Licorice vanilla socks that I cast on May 3rd. Yarn is Knit Picks Stroll Licorice Tweed yarn. Yeah. Sorry. This is what the yarn looks like. Charcoal with flecks of color. I have the first sock done. And I remembered to put it on a sock blocker. Last time I said I must have had a lot of stress because I made a significant ladder in the leg. And I'm hoping that comes out when I give them the first soak when I'm finished with the pair. But first one's done. And then I started the second one. My sock needle of choice or making is socks on 2 needles. I've got the cuff done and a few rows on the leg. It's a good start. I can, well, if I go anywhere this weekend and am passenger princess, I can work on them without having to think too hard about them. The other socks I have, I'm calling them my summer socks. The yarn is actually called Beach Cruise, Knit Picks Felici Beach Cruise colorway. I started these on June 1st. These are the socks that I said I was going to try my hand again, because I'm a glutton for punishment, on 9-inch. I dropped the yarn, hold on. It rolled right on my lap. I was going to work on them on my 9-inch circular chalgoos because I want to like working with these needles, and if I don't know what I'm going to do with them if I never ever use them. Here is what label? US 1 2.5. I actually made a lot of progress. I didn't think these would go very fast because the 1x1 ribbing went so slow and I felt so awkward holding these needles. And then last week it's not even like we did a lot of driving, but I've got 7 inches of sock done and I'm ready to start working on the heel. And I was so surprised that I got as much done as I did in the time that I had. But now I've got to look up the Crazy Sock Ladies tutorial on how to put on the heel flap and the heel and decrease down for all that for the foot and then get back on. I had no idea, well, I think you use extra needles to do all this. I've actually watched through the tutorial once, but it was a long time ago, so I think you have to use DPNs. There's just no getting around it. I hope I still have my DPNs. I haven't used DPNs in ages, and if not, I'll just grab another circular needle and make them. But that's it. I don't know if that sound just made it through, but I think one of my neighbors just used a chop saw. Projects, summertimes. I can't believe I didn't even talk about the weather, but the weather is really nice right now. It's, I don't know what the temperature is, but it's not raining and the sun is out. Okay, let's see. All right, that is that for all that. Next, I want to talk about a SAL I'm going to join in. In the last video, I mentioned the birthday stitch along that Sarah Stitchy Spot, Hobbies of Holly, another gal named Marcy, and Judy of the Stitching Bunny are doing. And I said that while they were talking about this, they kept saying the name Marcy and it kept catching my attention. And it's really weird because my birthday is in June as well. So I finally decided, yeah, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to participate in the stitch along. Not like I don't have 100 other things to do, right? Just like everybody else, but it is a lot of fun to stitch with the same project with other people, even if you're not as far along with the rest of them. So I ordered A Daily Reminder by Brenda Gervais from Farm Girl Dry Goods. Oh, glare. I wouldn't think there'd be quite so much glare out here, but there is. Let's see if that helps. Yeah. And actually, this is my first time opening the chart. I haven't even taken it out of the package yet, so I don't know how it's set up. 1, 2, 3, 4 pages. Oh, I think I'll be importing that into Pattern Keeper. Let's see, this is the called for information. I am going to do my own conversion in DMC. I don't know any of the colors yet. I am going to find some Stash Ada and I'm going to hand dye it myself. I'm thinking like a brown. Well, you know that color, you know that look when of hand dyed fabric. That's kind of that brown. If I'm debating on whether to go for a lighter brown or a darker brown, but then I started seeing other people talk about starting charts on fun colored fabrics, and now I don't know. I think it sounds like a great idea, but I probably won't try it because I wouldn't be able to decide what color fabric to use or dye the fabric to. So I think I'm just going to stick with brown, and I'm going to try to find bright colors like, well, if you can see that blue there, I'm going to try to find a vivid blue, well, a brighter blue. I want bright fun colors. And I think bright fun colors will work really well on a brown fabric. So that's that. I tried, whose video? I was watching Judy's video at Stitching Bunny, and I thought she said that the SAL started on June 1st, but then Marcy couldn't get the fabric that she wanted, so they're holding off on it. I'm going to try and push to get my fabric dyed and ready to go before my birthday, which is on the 25th, which I think I share with Holly. So that would be next Wednesday. I just gotta find fabric and cut it to size and choose the color still, just like everything else. A couple weeks ago, I won a giveaway from Ashley and Jan over at We Stitch and We Know Things, which I still think is a really great, hold on. Okay, segue here. You know how, well, I can't believe I'm at a loss for words. And it's not anything real big. I see something in the tree outside the window that shouldn't be there, and I was trying to figure out what it was. And it almost looks like a small ball of lettuce. If I remember, I'll take a picture and insert it in. But I was looking at it thinking, how did that get there? Especially on the edge. But my son brings home treats for the bunny, for Pfeffer, and for the chickens. And I'm wondering if he tossed something up to see what would happen, or if one of the wild birds or squirrels grabbed it and ran up the tree with it. That's just, it's so random and so odd. So I'm sorry. I want to give away from Ashley and Jan over at We Stitch and We Know Things, which I think is just a great channel name. It was for Lizzie Kate chart, Nevermore. And Jan sent a couple extra charts for me, which I thought was so sweet and so kind. And it is Primrose Cottage Stitches Happy Halloween and Waxing Moon Designs Patriotic House Trio. which, you know, is very timely, being that 4th of July is coming up in less than 3 weeks. I wish I was a fast stitcher. I would stitch one of these up in time, which this morning I got to thinking about a chart that I got last year from Lindy Stitches when she had her Facebook group. Oh, I don't think I have this stuff out here anymore, but she gave a chart to the members of her Facebook group, and I bought all the floss for it and got everything ready to go. And then 4th of July came and went, and I hadn't even started it. So I thought I should have started it for this year, but then I should have started it a while back. I cannot keep track of these oddball cycles of stuff, but I wanted to say a public thank you to Jan and Ashley for the charts and for hosting the giveaway. Very much appreciated. And another giveaway I won. Hold on. All right. I'm wondering if there's something in the air that's giving me a little bit of a tickle in the back of my throat. Another giveaway I won over on Instagram, actually. I want to make sure I got everything right here. Allison over at AZ Family Zoo Stitches is a Kimberbell ambassador, if I'm wording that correctly. And she hosted a giveaway from Kimberbell for needle punch kit. And I think it was myself and maybe 2 other people won the giveaway. And I chose, does it even show? This one. And I haven't even opened it yet. I took a picture, posted it on Instagram, and thought if I open it, I wanted it to be on the camera. And it's kind of crunchy, the crunchy plastic. But it's supposed to come with everything that you need for assembling or putting together this needle punch. And I can see that it indeed does. There's yarn here on the back. There's a needle punch. Needles, must be a threader. There's even an extra threader for the needle punch. Oh, I'm sorry. That was so loud. It's all so loud. That feels like a pretty nice needle punch. I've got a needle punch, an ultra punch for a project that I pulled together a few years ago, and of course haven't started it yet, but I've used it on a few other small things, and this feels like a good one. I've actually never used anything this big. The one that I have is a fine one used for DMC thread, which, you know, is not very big. So here's the acrylic yarn, some of the acrylic yarn. Looks like 3 balls of this color. Pretty soft feeling yarn too. And then 1 of this ultra white. What else have we got? Some fabric for the stripes. Oh yeah, that goes, this goes in its own little pocket in the bag. Yeah, and it's a nice sturdy vinyl bag too. I feel like you would get a lot of use out of it. It's not that kind of PVC vinyl that cracks early on. if you know what I'm talking about. This feels like the stuff that you buy to make your project bags. So thank you to Allison, and thank you to Kimberbell for asking her to host this giveaway. And I've never won anything like this before either. The giveaway from Ashley and Jan, that's the second time I've ever won anything on a YouTube giveaway. It just, wow. I was so excited to hear my name that I won that one. So that's all the projects, that's all the haul, that's all the FFOs. I kept track, no, I didn't keep track. I went back and looked and wrote down all the names of the YouTube floss tubers that I watched in the last 2 weeks. And it's like 40 channels. And I was kind of gobsmacked when I realized that I had watched that many channels. It's like, there are a lot of us out there. But I had no idea I was watching that many. I was watching that many in that time frame. So I don't dare list all of them because that would take a lot of time. Although I know a lot of people, it's a thrill to hear your name mentioned on someone else's channel. My power just went out. I gotta go check that out. All right, I am back. Nothing major, just our solar had run out, which I'd say is a testament to how little sun we've been getting the last week and a half or so. It's been just enough to keep us going, but, you know, I did laundry this morning, and apparently that was the straw that broke the camel's back. One quick thing I wanted to mention before I get into the floss tubers again. Kenzie over at Mud Puppy Stitchery received the emotional support chicken that I sent her, and she loves it. Yay. How could you not love an emotional support chicken? But I'm going to insert here the video that I made the last time I recorded showing off the emotional support chicken. So here we are. I am recording this in advance of my next floss tube and crafty video update. In May, I made a emotional support chicken for Kenzie over at Mud Puppy Stitchery. It took me about a week. I didn't post anything about it on social media anywhere because I want it to be a surprise when she gets it in the mail and opens it up. After my last video, which was, I don't remember which number, I had shared a few skeins of yarn that I purchased and my most recent finish of an emotional support chicken. And she left a comment on my video, and I contacted her and said that I would be happy to make her an emotional support chicken and to just pick out the yarn. She picked out the Emerald Pine yarn that I purchased from Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn. That's what it looks like if you do a swatch. This is how much yarn I have left. And here is the chicken. Do the slow turn. And I have to say, I think this is my second best emotional support chicken to date. I consider the first one I made for Brie Jr. to be my best one. This one, I was very intentional with what I did, and I tried to put a lot of positive thinking, a lot of positive vibes and positive thinking while I was working on it. And I think it turned out smashing. I like the way the stripes turned out. And I thought the tail turned out really good too. I was so worried when I got to stuffing it that I was going to run out of stuffing, and I had more than enough. So it's nice and squishy and good for giving hugs. So Kenzie, I hope this gives you a lot of comfort and a lot of emotional support. Bye. Okay, I hope you guys find that emotional support chicken as adorable and darling as I did and as Kenzie did. She posted it over on her Instagram same day she got it, and it was very well received. And I really appreciate the kind words that she had to say about my stitching. And she wanted to do something in return from me, and I said, okay, because she gave me an offer I couldn't refuse. So I sent off my hope dreams. Oh boy. It was my heartstring samplery. I sent her off one of my finished pieces that I wanted to do something special with, but I didn't know what because I'm not much of a finisher other than doing plain pillows and putting things in picture frames. She contacted me recently and said that it was all done and that it was going to be on its way up back to me, and I can't wait to see it. I mean, this is pretty exciting, actually. I've never had anything like this done for me before, so I'm pretty excited to see what it's going to look like. Okay, Flosstubers that I have been watching over the last couple of weeks were many and varied, and I took a handful and I'm going to mention them and give them shout outs today. Of course, Patty's Stitching with My Kitties. I really enjoy her videos, and her cats. Daisy May, especially in her last video, was just being a little stinker and and up to no good and causing chaos and making mischief, and I had such a kick out of seeing it. Patty's also been making a lot of progress on her Jessie Challenor 1904 piece. Like, I swear, she just started it and she seems to be like more than halfway done. It's just the speed that she's making that one is just incredible. Roberta and Lenny over at Sable Stitchers. I am a newer viewer to their channel, and I enjoy it, and I especially enjoy the punny jokes. I love a good punny joke, and I wanted to say that Lenny had good news announced in her last video, and I just want to say yay, because that's awesome. Nancy, the Disorderly Stitcher, she is starting a new patriotic stitch along with another floss tuber whose name I forgot to write down. Somebody with a laughing face. I'm sorry, I don't remember your full name, but go check that out. It was my first time watching Kathy and Molly at Linen and Scraps, and I enjoyed their video very much. Dottie over at Stitching Scotty. I'm a newer viewer to her. I heard about her through Patty Penn, and I get such a kick out of seeing the dogs at the beginning of the videos. They actually remind me a lot of my sister-in-law's dog Sprocket, although he was a Cairn Terrier, which I know is not the same. Stacy at 911 Stitcher. She did a tour of the new Primrose Cottage store, and I thought that was a really good tour, and it was fun to see what it looks like. New to me, I don't remember how I heard of him, but Sheldon at Sheldon and Stitches. I like his energy in his videos, and his pup is adorable. I think he said she was like half Corgi, half Pomeranian, and she's just a sweetheart. On camera, I don't know if she's a sweetheart otherwise, but she always wants love when on the videos that I've seen. Jason at Jason Cross Stitches, episode 7. Everybody should go listen to it. He had a really nice message at the end of his video, but you should watch the whole thing, of course. Shelly at Antique Needleworkers. I had fun listening to the video she did before StitchCon, where she had Holly of Hobbies of Holly, Carrie of Tiger Lily Designs, Lisa of Lady Huzzah, and a gal named Jessica, who they were trying to get her to start or restart a Flosstube. I was listening to that video when I was out fishing, and it was just a lot of fun and helped pass the time too, and a lot of laughs. And then this one is new to me too. I guess I actually hadn't come across him on Instagram, but I guess he became well known on his Instagram before he started his Flosstube. It's Joshua at Cross Stitch in Cambria. He's got a lot of charts and projects that I find really interesting. Not necessarily anything that I would stitch myself, but the work he does and the projects he chooses are very beautiful. In particular, the dragon. And if you are wondering, you need to go see what I'm talking about when I mention the dragon, because I thought those kind of charts, I think, are absolutely beautiful. And I can't remember if he said he still is or he was former animal control officer, and he told a story about a raccoon that cracked me up, and it reminded me of a story my sister-in-law told me about one of her friends with a rabbit. And I can't remember all the details, but you know, the ending is kind of the same, and I can only imagine what the people behind the vehicles thought when the event occurred. I don't want to do any spoilers, although you could probably guess, but you should go check him out too, because he's got some good animal stories. I feel like I've been doing that a lot lately. Deep breaths, exhale. Gotta catch up, gotta do. Although this week has actually, I feel like I've been playing catch up a little bit with things around the house and things with work after being gone on vacation for a week. Although I was gone from work, I had a staycation, but you know how you let some things kind of slide while you're on vacation, and that's what I did a little bit, and now I'm trying to play catch up, which is not always easy to do. So I guess that is that for now. Thank you for watching my video. If you like what you see, hit the like button. If you don't already subscribe, please subscribe, but more importantly, share with a friend, because sharing is caring, and I want to see this Flosstube community grow because it is a wonderful, supportive community. It's just, I haven't come across anything yet on it that would make me think otherwise. So until next time, bye.